Live from the Big G's Pizza Studio on Clark Street, this is 5 Songs with Friends, Chicago's music discovery podcast. Following the release of their self-produced debut, Slow Dive, and full-length album, Little Death, IMUR's electrifying blend of electronic and R&B instantly resonated with critics and new fans alike. Their tracks garnered millions of streams, landing them on the Spotify Global Viral Chart and in ads by Patagonia and Lululemon. The projects also earned them a place on the main stage at Bumbershoot Festival with the likes of Jorja Smith, Solange, and Lorde. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the whole group here. What's going on? How are you?
Yo, doing good.
Awesome. I'm so stoked to have you guys. You guys are making awesome music. So tell me about, how did you get started? How did you form this group? There's a trio, right?
Yeah, it was a trio. It was a staggered setting. I found Mikey was doing production for a hip-hop group called the People Northwest. And I hopped on a hook a few years back now. And I was starting to work on my own original material at that time and really liked his style. So we started sending beats back and forth over the internet. And when we ended up kind of working them out a bit more, we realized that we could play them live and not maybe how people would expect the live set to be, which was really fun and interesting for us. And so we just kind of rolled with that, to be honest. We got some pretty solid bookings. I don't know if you guys have heard about Shambhala out there in Chicago, but yeah. It's a pretty massive rave out here in Canada. And that was the first show we booked. So we were like, hey, maybe we're onto something.
So we had a major festival book before we had a name. And so over the course of 2 months, we wrote, produced, recorded, mixed, mastered, printed a 6-track EP.
Hand-sewn
kind of deal. And then, we were off to the races. On that tour, we brought Amin with us as an opener doing his solo stuff. Mm-hmm. And the subsequent summer as well. And he was just too much fun to have around, so we had to get him on.
Yeah, Amin was doing Simple Machines, which is like really beautiful live looping electronic, violin, vocals, bass guitar, you name it. And so it's really added a really wonderful dimension to our live set as well. And
I love this part because then it always makes me feel really good. But then from my end, when they first invited me, it was really awesome. I had known Jenny from before, and I met Mikey actually through Evan, who he was working with the People Northwest. And I moved across the street. Yeah, that's right. I met kitty corner to me. So I met his bandmate at the time in a laundromat. And he was like, hey, come over, let's make some beats. And that was Mikey, and that's how we met. But yeah, the first time I went on tour with them, I remember just seeing the setup and seeing how it worked and just being like really awed. And like, this is crazy. I remember the very first show that I was there that they played, and they had business cards, they had everything laid out, super professional. I know it's like you guys not professional, but for me, it blew my mind. It was just, everything was so on point, from the music to the presentation. And so it really inspired me to work super, super hard on my own stuff. And then it just kind of catapulted into us all working together. So it's a really nice kind of fluid dynamic like that. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's so cool. That's a great story. So I'm hearing basically 2 things. Number 1, go to more laundromats if you want to meet more musicians. Number 1. Number 2, find a name, put it on a business card. So like, can you walk me through that? I don't know if I've ever heard of like bands creating, like taking their music that professionally that early on. Like, where does that come from? Where does that attention to detail come from with the band?
Jenny and I had been in projects before and never done anything for real. And then when we kind of had this like fire that lit under our asses, and we just like looked at each other and were like, let's go full steam for 10 years. And then we just like pushed gas super hard.
We grinded I mean, we still do, but like we grinded really fucking hard those first 3 years. Like we definitely developed a reputation for being some of the hardest working people in this city.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, so there are a lot of bands out there probably who want to have the level of success that you guys are having right now, and they're probably hearing this and they're thinking to themselves, okay, I know they grinded for 3 years, what were some, but I don't want to do it for 3 years. What are some of the big like lessons or like growth hacks, or like what are some of the main things that you did that you would give as pieces of advice to other bands that are looking to replicate your success?
We went to a lot of shows. We went to like every single show that we could while we were starting out to just get a feel for the scene that we were going to be a part of. And it wasn't because we're like, all right, we want to succeed. Let's go to shows and make connections. It was like, this is what I want to do, so I want to know what everybody else is doing.
We want to build a community.
Yeah.
And be a part of a community.
Yeah.
Because it's not every man for himself. Like it doesn't work that way. The more connections you make, the more you'll learn quickly, because people will share from the mistakes they've made. We didn't have that mentorship when we first started out, so that's probably why we had to work so much harder. Was because everything was trial and error and research, like hours of research and all that. Whereas now, if anybody wants to sit down and have a coffee with me, like I'm happy to share any of the things we've learned. But pretty much just focus on your music. Try not to get distracted by other people's successes or social medias or whatever, because realistically, everybody's in the same boat. And even the people that are riding a wave are probably not feeling like they're riding a wave. Mm-hmm. So don't let that distract you from what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. That's so awesome. I love the humility there. Like you guys are, like I don't know, you just have this awesome like gratitude about you guys, and I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Well, honestly, we feel really privileged to be able to get to do this.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets that chance, and we feel really blessed that we're able to pursue what we love to do, and have people respond to it like this. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I'm curious because I think it's so cool that you had your music featured in ads like by these two massive brands, Patagonia and Lululemon. Like, first off, how does that happen? And like, second off, what's going through your head when that came inbound?
That was through just like honestly me being a part of the ski and snowboard community. When I was a bit younger, I got to know professional riders who turned into filmmakers, who turned into multimedia artists, and so it's connection through that, and then just being interested in stuff. Like if you're really passionate about what you're doing, you're gonna make friends with people that are also passionate, and if Patagonia and Lululemon are just a bunch of really passionate people, so.
Yeah, and emailing and not being afraid to follow up. And
yeah.
Because people are busy, and so quite often you're going to get ghosted a lot.
Yeah.
And so if you really want something, honestly, just keep following up. I don't mean like bugging somebody, like, be professional and use your discretion, but, be persistent. And like Mikey said, like just having outside interests and realizing that music is not one-dimensional. It fits into all these places in our everyday lives. And so just kind of really thinking about that.
I think it's also really interesting because those were some of the first couple, syncs you would call them. But then currently we worked with a sync agent, and we worked with a music supervisor out of Toronto, and we've had quite a few placements in shows like Wynonna, Earp, and Good Trouble, and Workin Moms, which is a Canadian show. And that's been really lucrative and awesome. We actually met this initial music supervisor, again, just through like chilling and being real and connecting with people. We went to a conference at Rifflandia, which is a big festival in Victoria on Vancouver Island. And we were at a conference about music supervision, and Mikey ended up drawing a picture of the head music supervisor, like drawing a cartoon photo as I was taking from this thing. And he gives the photo to the guy afterwards. And the guy had such a laugh about it and loved the photo. Instant connection. We ended up meeting one of the guys later, like dancing out at a bar.
Yeah, long story short, it was a $10,000 illustration. $10,000 for that illustration.
Yeah, who's counting though, right? But that's so fucking awesome. I love that you guys. It sounds like you do a great job of just like. It sounds like you all have really good intent. Like you want to do the right thing, and you're not afraid to stand out and let people know it. And I think like it's just so cool to hear that you're that like good people are winning in the world. It's nice to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah, why be the same when you can be interesting?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it, man. That's so cool. So tell me a little bit about this song that we have called Afterglow that we're playing today. It comes with an awesome, accompanied with a pretty cool music video. So like, can you just tell us about the whole song and the process behind it?
Yeah. You want to start with the beat?
Yeah, Afterglow, it came together so fast, but it came out of a really uncomfortable time for all three of us. It was kind of like it's about the silver lining, and this song was the silver lining of that time of our lives. I went to Vancouver Island on a motorcycle trip, crashed my bike, almost broke my ankle, and just on the way back from Vancouver Island on the ferry, I rode the beat in like 40 minutes, sent it to Jenny, and she was going through some really shitty stuff as well. And
we had just had a conversation, like a long conversation in a car trip to one of the festivals we were playing, and it was about like not living an ordinary life and giving yourself permission to be yourself, flaws and all. For me, that unfortunately includes a lot of self-destruction. I know I'm not the only one out there. And so it just felt really good just writing about it, because I think it was a song that really encompassed what all of us were going through at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like Mikey said, it came together really quickly, which is it's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just about kind of living in that shit a little, and like it's okay, you know.
Absolutely. All right, well, so let's play it, and then we can talk a little bit about the music video. This is a song called Afterglow by I Am You Are.
Push me off the deep end just to see how I swim. Keep my head above water, or will I give in? Sink to the bottom, no breathing. Yeah. Push me off the deep end just to see if I win. My oh my, say you're thinking life is beautiful. It's been a while since I've been to a funeral. My oh my, say you're thinking life is beautiful. The breeze is calm, got me feeling too invincible. Oh, so I'll mess it up a little, 'cause it's all I know. Then I swim in the afterglow. Mess it up a little, 'cause it's all I know. Then I swim in the afterglow. I like to live a life that feels uncomfortable. The pressure lets me move, helps me grow. I swim in the afterglow. Yeah. I like to live a life that feels like nobody knows, nobody knows. My city, thinking life is beautiful. It's been a while since I've been to a funeral. My city, thinking life is beautiful. Breeze is calm, got me feeling too invincible. Oh, so I'll mess it up a little, 'cause it's all I know. Then I swim in the afterglow. I mess it up a little, 'cause it's all I know. And then I swim in the afterglow.
that was Afterglow by I Am You Are. So tell me about this music video because it's very, very well done. By the way, is that your real grandma or like who is this awesome woman that's in there?
That's actually Maureen. That's Maureen Mann, and she has a pretty amazing story because she didn't start acting until much later in her life. Like, she literally as a grandma decided that she wanted to just go and get an agent and just do something different. Start taking improv classes and acting. Yeah.
Or something. So it all worked out pretty well. Most of the people in the video are our friends, which was pretty awesome to get to work with homies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And directed and written by Nick Brooke. We instantly loved the script. It really reminded me of my favorite Black Mirror episode, which is San Juniper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we just love that idea of, like, again, just being able to escape, you know, like, grandma didn't want to just like knit a sweater. Like she wanted to go fuck some shit up. She wanted to get down, to be a rock star.
She wanted to stab somebody.
Yeah. So it's just fun getting to explore those lives through somebody who you might not think would have that, like have those desires in them.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really cool video and a cool narrative overall. So you guys it sounds like you're very well connected out there, in the BC music community. Are there any bands that come to mind, that maybe you're friends with, you're gigging with, that you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, there's a project called Wynonna, and we've been working with them quite a bit. We've actually got a collab coming down the line with them, but we saw them play for the first time live a few weeks ago, and it was fantastic. So we're really excited to see what they have to come out with. Makes a while, yeah.
Yeah, and a different perspective in pop music, which is nice. Non-binary, queer, POC writing, just super dope R&B pop.
Fantastic. I love it. So what does the future hold for you all? Do you have any dates coming up? Any future releases? What can we expect?
We do. We've got some shows in Canada, which we got a festival coming up called Dancing Bear. We are coming into Seattle in July, I believe, for Capitol Hill Block Party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is an amazing music festival. I've been to that before. Have you guys been to that before?
I personally have been to a few Capitol Hills, and
cool.
I love everything Seattle. I just love all the festivals, all the vibes, all the people. Like, yeah, it's one of my favorite towns, and not just because of proximity.
So we're really looking forward to that, and we are hoping to pull together a Pacific Northwest tour this summer. So if anybody out there is listening and you want us in your town, hit us up.
Fantastic. I love it. How can people stay in touch with you guys on social media, the internet, things like that?
Everything is /WeAre and then the letters IMUR. So Instagram /WeAreIMUR, Facebook /WeAreIMUR. WeAreINUR. And then and don't hesitate also to check out our website, imurmusic.com, and you can hit us up on the contact there. But yeah, we respond to everything because we're a bunch of goops and we just slide in the DM if you feel so inclined.
There you go. There it is. Slide in, guys. I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been a blast.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.